Now.
This is New York's #1 news. Channel 7 Eyewitness News. With Bill Vitter and Liz Cho. Rob Powers with sports. And Lee Goldberg with the exclusive AccuWeather forecast. Now, Eyewitness News at 6.
They said they were New York cops, and they ordered a driver and 2 passengers to get out of their minivan. But they were not the real police, as the victims quickly realized when they watched their car get driven away. But first, the NYPD claims it will be one of the safest spots on the planet. It will most certainly be one of the most crowded. Times Square on New Year's Eve, tight security, tightly packed, and ready to ring in another new year. Good evening, everyone. It's 6 o'clock. I'm Bill Ritter. Liz is off tonight. Kicking off New Year's Eve, off to a rather sluggish start. Several problems to tell you about affecting subway service right now. A J train breaking down on the Williamsburg Bridge. It is now moving again, but there are residual delays. Also some delays on other lines because of signal problems. The E, F, M, R, 7, and J lines all affected tonight. Of course, nothing can stop time. 6 hours and counting till the end of this year and the beginning of a new one. Times Square, host to the biggest, most famous New Year's Eve party in the country. A place for celebration, to be sure, but also a target for those who would try to hurt us. And no surprise, security more intense than ever this year. The NYPD trying to balance keeping New Yorkers safe with allowing New Yorkers to party. We have 3 reports tonight. Meteorologist Amy Freeze tracking the weather. Darla Miles with why people line up to be part of this. And we begin with Josh Einiger with a look at the beefed-up security. He's in Times Square. Josh.
And Bill, just 10 seconds ago, they did a test countdown up there on the screen where the ball will drop 6 hours from now, with 6 hours to go before the world's biggest New Year's Eve party. They're actually, it sounds like, about to raise the ball to the very top of that flagpole, where it will sit for the next several hours. In the meantime, with all of this focus on the crossroads of the world, there is an extraordinary level of security here to keep everybody safe. It's the largest NYPD New Year's Eve deployment ever. 6,000 cops on the ground.
It's going to be a happy, cheerful event.
And with 6 hours to go, Police Commissioner Bill Bratton says, so far, so good. In the wake of the terror attacks in Paris and later in San Bernardino, he ordered a dramatic increase in the footprint in Times Square with 600 to 800 additional officers.
Really nothing new we're doing, just more of it. More cameras, more dogs, secondary screenings. You get into a pen, you go through 2 screenings, and a lot more officers in the pens in plain clothes.
No thought pots are allowed.
In all, upwards of 1 million partiers have crammed into 65 pens. Some people have been here since 7 a.m., running a gauntlet of security checks to hurry up and wait for the ball to drop.
My son's in boot camp as a Marine, and he kind of warned me before we went, like, hey, maybe we should, not go, but I feel comfortable with all the police here. I feel pretty safe, so New York's done a great job.
And back live, there it is, the ball rising up to position over the top of one Times Square, where it will watch down on the 1 million people here waiting for it to drop to signify the new year 2016. The police commissioner says there are no specific or credible threats that they are aware of. They are keeping as close an eye as they can on the people behind me so they can have as much fun as they possibly can. Live in Times Square this New Year's Eve. Josh Einiger, Channel 7, Eyewitness News.
Josh, thank you. They've been doing this since 1907. They have it down pat. Now to the people who voluntarily decide to stand for hours, packed like sardines, shoulder to shoulder, nowhere to move, nowhere to go. For the 1 million or so folks doing that tonight, well, they call it having fun. So what to expect? Eyewitness News reporter Darla Miles at New York City's busiest quadrant. Darla.
Bill, I have to show you something because some fireworks look like they're going off already. That doesn't seem to be part of the plan here, but you have a lot of people cheering for these fireworks. This hasn't happened in years past, but what you can't expect is people down here having a lot of patience and a lot of fun.
Woo! Happy New Year!
What's so much fun about this?
The people are so friendly.
Some revelers in Times Square will ring in the new year with new BFFs. How many people have you met? How many best friends have you made since you've been here?
I don't know. I met probably 10, 15. I met him. He's talked to me about Demi Lovato and stuff, so it's pretty cool being here.
Have you scoped out anybody to kiss at midnight around you guys?
No. Not really.
Getting a New Year's kiss? Well, that may be a good distraction for those who lined up first and have been waiting outside the longest. What's your bathroom strategy?
We're not going at all.
How you hanging on? No bathroom, right?
I'm all right. I haven't been drinking anything for the last day.
What's your bathroom strategy?
There is no bathroom strategy. Let's be real. Let's be real. There is no bathroom strategy.
But whether you're a first timer,
It's just one of those things that you got to do it, and then you said you did it, and then, yeah.
or a regular, this is the right way to ring in 2016 at the biggest party on the planet.
There's a lot of terrible things that happened this year, and an experience like this kind of makes us feel like family again, you know, that's really important.
Now, again, that's a live look at the ball. It's a possibility that the fireworks that we just saw was the fact that they just raised the ball. It was at the bottom of the pole. Now it's at the top. So it's a possibility that was like a pre-fireworks display, a sign of the party that's going to come in the next 6 hours. Again, there's a million people expected to be out here tonight, and there's no mention of the bathroom. Reporting live in Times Square, Darla Miles, Channel 7 Eyewitness News.
Yeah, very pleasant, Darla. Thank you. Several street closures already in effect around Times Square. If you live there and don't want to be involved in the celebrations, I'm so sorry. Here's a look right now at the closures. It's small for now, but in less than 30 minutes, that blockade expands to all cross streets from 37th to 41st and 49th to 59th. We have a list of all this, by the way, on our website, ABC7NY. If you are going outside, one thing you will not have to contend with is the weather this year, as we bid farewell to the strangest winter and fall weather we've had in more than 30 years. Snow, rain, ice, heavy winds. None of that. Meteorologist Amy Freeze in for Lee Goldberg, timing out tonight's forecast. Amy.
Yeah, well, Bill, even crunching the numbers, December will go down in the books as one of the warmest ever, with temperatures running 13, almost 14 degrees above the average. As we turn the page of the calendar and roll into the new year, however, we could see some real January-like weather showing up as far as the temperatures going. Getting back to reality. Right now, I've got low to mid-40s on the map. Coldest spot is up in Monticello at 34 degrees. Even the clouds are starting to part a bit, and as the ball drops, maybe a few patchy clouds will remain over Times Square as the temperatures go to 41 degrees. And as far as New Year's Eve goes, that's a real mild number. The coldest ever reported in Times Square, and the ball drops back in the 19-17 degree range was 7 below zero. I think we can take 41. I'll have the full AccuWeather forecast coming up in just a few minutes, Bill.
See you then, Amy. Thank you. Don't forget Dick Clark's New Year's Rockin' Eve with Ryan Seacrest begins here at Channel 7 at 8 o'clock, followed by Eyewitness News at 11. Sade and I will be here, and we'll take you to Times Square, and then at 11:30, not 11:35 like normally, it's back to Ryan Seacrest, who will count down to midnight and the new year. And if you happen to be away from the TV, you can watch it still, all of it, on the Watch ABC app. We do have some other news to tell you about. We begin with breaking news. Well, right now, police in Munich are asking Germans to stay away from that city's main train station because of, quoting now, the serious imminent threat of a terror attack. It's happening right now. Munich police say on Facebook there is serious information. There will be, they say, an attack tonight. According to local reports, the train station's been evacuated. Trains would no longer stop there. The warning coming shortly before the city celebrated the start of the new year. Meanwhile, an alleged terror plot on New Year's Eve in upstate New York has been thwarted. 25-year-old Emmanuel Lutchman, arrested as part of an undercover sting operation. Prosecutors say he planned, under the ISIS banner, to carry out an attack at a restaurant using knives and a machete. Authorities say there's no specific threat, although bar owners have been told to be on alert. As a precaution, the city of Rochester tonight has canceled its fireworks display to deploy officers elsewhere. And a most bizarre New Year's Eve image tonight from the Middle Eastern city of Dubai. Fire breaking out at a 63-story hotel and apartment tower 2 hours before midnight there. Flames quickly climbing from the 20th floor where the fire started. A heart attack and some minor injuries were reported. The Burj Khalifa, the world's tallest building, is nearby. And in a surreal development, a New Year's fireworks display at that hotel near the fire happened on schedule. Tonight, the painful goodbye to a New Yorker killed in a terrorist suicide bombing last week in Afghanistan. The body of Air National Guard Staff Sergeant Louis Bonacasa arriving at a base in West Hampton in Suffolk County today, and then taken 25 miles north to a funeral home in Miller Place. All this for a 2-day wake. Bonacasa leaves behind a wife and a 5-year-old daughter. Long Island reporter Kristen Thorne is at the wake for us tonight. Kristen.
Well, just a show of support for Sergeant Bonacasa here at the Branch Funeral Home. There was a line outside the door around the corner of the building for several hours today to honor this comrade to so many. Those who knew Staff Sergeant Louis Bonacasa say he was aware of and accepted the risks of fighting for our country because he believed in it more than anything else. His 5-year-old daughter, Liliana, may not yet understand war, but she has learned far too early in her young life about death. Her mother, Bonacasa's wife, Deborah, who he met at boot camp, was there with her to watch as the military honored Bonacasa at a ceremony at Gabreski Air National Guard Base in West Hampton Beach this afternoon.
So, Lord, our pain and pride merge with inexpressible gratitude for him as our hero.
A suicide bomber killed the 31-year-old and 5 other servicemen during an attack in Afghanistan last week.
He was really a great man, a great provider, and has a beautiful family, and it's just a great loss for everyone.
Hundreds of people filed into a funeral home in Miller Place today for Bonacasa's wake, trying to understand why someone so wonderful was taken away.
Known since he was a little boy. Sad. Sad for all of us today.
He didn't think twice about what he had to do. As you can see by the outpouring of love here, that's evident of that.
Governor Cuomo also came to pay his respects.
Sergeant Bonacasa was a hero, and I hope the family takes comfort in that.
There will be another viewing for Bonacasa here at the Branch Funeral Home tomorrow. He will be laid to rest on Saturday at Calverton National Cemetery. We're live in Miller Place. I'm Kristen Thorne, Channel 7 Eyewitness News.
Very sad. Kristen, thank you. As we continue with Eyewitness News at 6 for this New Year's Eve, robbers posing as police officers. The fake cops caught on video pulling up behind a van. We will show you the scary moments that happened next.